Friday. It is finally Friday. Finally Friday. I don't know if it's just because I thought it was Friday a day early or if this was just an especially long week for me, but I didn't think this day was ever going to get here. Um the Book of Face is having some problems today, so I am broadcasting live to YouTube, and then I'm going to see if I can't figure out how to share that, because there is bound to be more than one way to skin a cat. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about systems. And my story for today is just a little bit about, some experiences I have been having lately. In my personal life, I do some public speaking, and right now it is a lot of Zoom speaking. For the last year, it's been a lot of Zoom speaking, but typically I travel maybe 30 weekends a year. Maybe a little less, but pretty much, yeah. Um, to do a little bit of public speaking. And I don't know if what is happening. Is this doing the thing? See, I'm sorry. I get distracted because the screen is doing stuff and I don't know if it's posting the way that it's supposed to. Anyway, so in my personal life, I do some speaking as part of an organization that I am in. And I have this very wide range of experiences with doing that. I have, some people call and ask me to do that. They tell me what they want me to do and when they want me to do it. They send me a confirmation, and then it may be a day before they call and confirm. Awesome. That's ideal. Then I have people who ask me 2 years in advance. They check back in with me 427 times. They put me in a group text message with updates about stuff that's happening 2 years from now. They send me 100 emails about every single possible aspect of what's going on. This is not ideal. This week, I had somebody, actually, it started about a month ago. Could you do this? Yes, I can. When is it going to be? We don't know. Well, then I'm not sure if I could do this. Let me get back with you. I'll get back with you on Saturday with a date. 10 days later, I get a message. Okay, here are the possible dates. It's these 2 days. We want you for one part of these 2 days. Do you have any conflict here? The only thing I cannot do is Friday night, I say. Good, then I will put you on Thursday at this time. Fantastic. 10 days later, then I get several messages, not necessarily related to the specifics, but she's sort of explaining to me about how to do this, and I know what she wants. Then she comes back literally Thursday. I'm speaking today, by the way. We had confirmed for Thursday. So on Thursday, I get a message that has me scheduled for noon today. And she says, I think I remembered that you can't speak Friday, that you can speak Friday night. Is this okay? So I say, hey, our whole conversation is in this thread. What we had confirmed was for Thursday, which is today, not Friday. However, I can do noon tomorrow. So, okay. So I go to do this. I go to do the talk thing, and they have meetings scheduled literally in hour blocks, back to back to back to back to back. So there's no space in between. So no one can speak 1 minute over, because then they'll be getting into somebody else's time. And so they don't know whether I'm there. So I'm trying to, get their attention on Zoom to show them I'm there. It won't let me unmute. So they don't know whether I'm there. Then I start talking, and then they interrupt me talking to do some housekeeping things. So, like changing who is I don't even know what it's called, the co-chair to the meeting and who has the power to mute and unmute. And like they stop the meeting that I am talking in so that they can do all this housekeeping stuff, and people are unmuting and I'm supposed to be, and Nancy's not supposed to be. And meanwhile, I'm just like, y'all, this is a hot mess. And so whatever. I get finished, I do the thing. Then I've got these other people that I'm talking to. This sounds like I'm so ungrateful, and that's not the case. I'm talking. This is an illustration for some business purposes, okay? Then there's these other people that I'm supposed to be talking for. I'm doing a 30-minute talk. Then I'm doing, and okay, we need to clarify that you're going to do this, the A, B, C, and D, and F, and Q, and sure, no problem. Will you do this other thing? Sure. Well, we're going to need that confirmed, and we're going to need the email address and the social security number and the blood type of this person that's going to, help out. Okay. So anyway, they've literally called me multiple times to confirm something I've already confirmed. They have emailed me a copy of the format. Now, I'm talking for 30 minutes. This is something I've done literally 150 times this year. Well, last year. It's a 30-minute talk, and they have confirmed it multiple times. They have sent me multiple emails. They are now sending me a copy of the format of the meeting. Okay. Then they're sending a copy of the format of the meeting to the other person that's doing a 10-minute part. Then they called again today for the 4th time to confirm that I am still doing the thing on May 5th for the half an hour. And then I'm told, we'd really like for you to attend a meeting prior to the meeting that you're doing the thing at, so that we're sure, after our 4 emails and 2 copies of the format and several discussions. And I swear to y'all, if I get one more call confirming something I've already confirmed 4 flipping times, I'm going to say, I don't think I can do this. Because it's too much. And so obviously, and then there are people who ask me to do something, I never hear from them again, and they just sort of fling it out into the universe that, that it's all going to work out. And that's not right either. And so I know I'm sounding a lot like Goldilocks, but there really is, in dealing with very different approaches to all this, there's a sweet spot. And the sweet spot is, I have enough information. I have one simple reminder, and I have, and I know what the next step is. That's it. And yet there are times when dealing with businesses where you kind of feel like, I don't want to do more work to hire you than you are doing for me. That's not going to work. And I'll give you an example of that. There is a company that does some maintenance on a part of our house. We pay a monthly fee for them to come out twice a year to check the thing. I look up, they're supposed to come in the spring and in the fall. I look up, and it's the end of April, and no one has called to schedule this. And so I reach out to them to say, hey, When are you going to schedule these spring appointments? And I receive a message that says, oh, cool. Call us and we will put you on the schedule. Now I'm thinking, we're paying you every month for a twice a year service. So we are allowing you to collect revenue every month of the year for which is doing you a favor. It's not doing us a favor. I mean, you can tell me all day long, well, it's smaller payments. Well, sure. But there's also the opportunity that I'm going to pay on something all year long. And if I don't remember to schedule it, then you've just got my money, don't you? And so when I call, because obviously that's what I'm going to have to do, when I call them, I say, hey, you're not calling to set these up. And the response I get is, well, we've been really busy. Mm-mm. That's not the way to go. That's not the way to go. At least pretend that you are sorry you dropped the ball instead of, well, you're just not our priority, ma'am. So I'm just saying they're coming out to this appointment and then we're having a pretty serious conversation about whether we're going to continue that service because there's no service coming out of it. If I have to remember, if I have to call, if I have to mark my calendar, if I have to reach out to you to get a service that I am paying for, that's silly. I don't think so. I don't think that's how that's going to work for me because there are 200 other companies in the area that would be happy to do that and they will call me and set up the appointment. So as I'm thinking about these experiences, I kind of have to reflect on my business and are there people who are having anything similar in working with me? When they reach out to me, are they getting a quick response? Do they know how to reach out to me to get a quick response? Is there a system for onboarding so that when I have a new client, they know exactly when we're going to talk, what we're going to talk about, what comes next, what comes after that, how the next month's service is going to work, how the billing is going to work, what they should do if they find a problem or run into a difficulty with the service that I provide. I need to really take a look at that, and that's one of the things that these challenges with other entities, um, namely businesses, but not necessarily, they show me instead of taking their inventory, I really need to turn that back and go, okay, now I know kind of what I expect. Am I providing that? Am I in that sweet spot where you know what to expect, you have the right amount of information, but I'm not driving you crazy with overkill when you have a lot of other things on your plate. And so, I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about that today and let you kind of noodle on that with me. One of the things that my business coach taught me when I first got started was anytime there is a situation in which I've dropped the ball in any way, shape, or form in my business, first I make it right. That's first and foremost, make it right. Second thing is create a system. What that speaks to, if a ball has been dropped, if I have forgotten to do something, if a mistake has been made, if things weren't coordinated well, if there was a misunderstanding or a miscommunication about something, there is a missing system. And I tell the story all the time. Did you see that? I found a piece of cheese on my necklace and I literally just sort of hid it and then I put it in my mouth, just in case you missed it. Anyway, I tell this story all the time. When I first got started, I had a new client who reached out to me twice because there was a spelling or a grammatical error in some posts I made. And I was mortified, mortified. Now I got the posts fixed and spoke to her about, what to do, and told her I was going to get this handled, but also that she had the power to fix things if for whatever reason she couldn't reach me, if it was off hours or whatever. But I knew I didn't ever want her to say we found another error. Now it's good. It happens. It does happen when you're typing thousands and thousands of words a week. There are going to be things that may well fall through the cracks. But I sure don't want that happening very often. And so I could not hire a proofreader. I just was not in a position at that point in my business to hire a proofreader. What I could do was download an app. I actually it's an extension for Chrome, and I use Grammarly, and I don't even know if I have the paid version or the free version, but it catches it. It catches spelling errors. It catches when I forget to put a small word, because I get in a hurry, and I try to read it out loud before I hit post, but some days I do and some days I may not. And so by adding that one little safeguard, I created a system where that happens very rarely instead of more frequently than I want to admit. And so, when you are dealing with other businesses, pay attention to the things that frustrate you and take those questions, turn them back around, and, do a quick spot check on, does this show up in my business? Where, when, and how does this show up in my business? Where is there overkill in information? And are there people where they feel like I'm kind of overwhelming them? Or am I at the other end where I am probably not providing enough resource information, or I'm not reminding people of information regularly? For instance, I do a pretty good job of onboarding my clients when we first get started, but several years in, they may not realize what email address they should reach out to if they are going to email me. They don't know that I prefer to be for people to message me on the platform that I'm on most of all, because that's the easiest one for me to keep up with, and it gets in my face really quickly. They may not know how I prefer to receive photos that they're going to send me. Do I want them texted? Do I want them emailed to a certain email address? Do I have a Dropbox where I want them to put it? Do I have a file on Google Drive that I've given them access to? They need to know those things. And am I sending that information not just once, but more than once? Not so much that it's overkill, but maybe is there an every 6 months or an annual message that I'm sending out to remind people of pertinent information? When things change, am I updating folks about, here's what's new and different, or you may have heard about this rollout with whatever. Like today, there's one of the platforms, we know which one, is having some problems, in particular with video. And I haven't started my posting over there yet, so I don't know if I'm going to run into problems with it. But do I have a system to let my clients know about that proactively, or is there a possibility that they're going to look for their posts and not find them, and they don't know why? So just a handy dandy thought for the day: when you are dealing with another business and you are not having the greatest experience, use it as a spot check for your own business, and add a system anytime you find a gap in flow or in information. I want you guys to have a fantastic weekend. Take some time, unplug, unwind, do what you do if you do that thing. If not, have an extra cup of this. I am going on a date both on Friday night And on Saturday nights with the same fella. I'm pretty excited about that. We're gonna put on real clothes and do our hairs and put on the fluttery lashes. So it's gonna be a good weekend. It's gonna be a good weekend, and I'm gonna come back Monday, and I'm gonna hit you with some new stuff. It's gonna be big fun. I hope you'll join me. Thanks so much. I always appreciate anybody who tunes in and checks out what I'm doing here. And if there's somebody I can help with your social media, please reach out to me. If I can't help y'all find somebody